Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Anurodh Godha from School of Commerce and Management, Vardhaman Mahavir Open University, Kota. Today we are going to talk on part 2nd of the previous module, that is part 2nd, Placement and Induction, from the paper Human Resource Management. So students, let's see what we are going to learn in this module. In this module, we will understand in depth about the induction procedure to be followed by an organization. In this module, we will develop a model employee induction program. After going through the module, you will be able to point out the benefits of good induction program for an organization. And after this module, you will come across the points to be avoided while implementing an induction program. In this module, you will also understand the various problems arising during induction and dealing with those problems. In this module, you will come to know about the various induction guidelines, and you will also go through the various induction training practices which are prevailing in India. Now coming to the first part, that is introduction related to induction procedure. As we have discussed previous also, organizations always want to put best efforts to make integration of a new employee in the organization in a very smooth and anxiety-free way. As discussed in previous module, depending on the size of the organization and depending on the complexity of individual's new work environment, the integration of new employee into the organization could be achieved through a formal or informal orientation program. There is no model induction program developed till date, because each industry develops its own induction program as per their need and requirement. The procedure should be developed with incorporating the various aspects, like the new person should be given a definite time and place to report. Means the new person must be told that this is the time and date to report in the organization. It is very important that supervisor or the immediate boss meet and welcome the employee in the organization. The third point is administrative work should be completed as soon as possible, because it creates the boredom in the new employee. Information about vacations, information about probation period, medical leaves, etc. should be conveyed to the employee in advance. Next is departmental orientation. This should include a get acquainted talk with other employees. And here we must provide introduction about the department, visiting of workplace, and explanation of the functions of the department, as well as explanation of the job profile and to whom he should look for help when he has any grievance. The next aspect is verbal explanation. Verbal explanation usually supplemented along with a wide variety of printed material like employee handbook, employee manual, house journals, pictures, stories, and pamphlets. Students, the new employee supervisor is often given an orientation checklist, and the supervisor must ensure that he covers all the necessary orientation steps. Now we will come to next section of this lecture, that is developing employee induction program. Students, according to John McGillicuddy, one of the first and most lasting impression new employees have about their employer is how they are greeted and treated on their first day of work. Ideally, induction program should follow the assessment, designing, implementation and evaluation framework. There are 4 aspects: assessment, designing, implementation and evaluation, which can be further elaborated as determining and assessment of induction program content, designing the induction program, implementing the induction program, and the 4th, which is very important, evaluating the effectiveness of induction program. Students, Now we will discuss the first step of the Employee Induction Program framework, that is, determining an assessment of induction program content. Every organization has an obligation to make integration of the individual into the organization in a smooth and comfortable way as possible. Small organizations may do it through informal orientation by the employee's immediate supervisor, whereas large organizations usually develop formal orientation program. In general, induction program typically cover information about the company as a whole, which may be provided by the human resource development staff, as well as job-specific information, which would be provided by the newcomer's immediate supervisor. The topics covered in employee induction program may be like company's history, philosophy and operations. Next, products and services of the company. Next, about the company's organization structure. About the location of departments and the employee. It may also have detail about the personal policies and practices, employees' activities, detail about the rules and regulations, brief about the grievance procedure, safety measures, and some standing orders. Along with these, there may be description about the benefits and services for employees and opportunities for training, promotion, and transfer. Students, the next step is designing the induction program. In designing the induction program, human resource manager must deal with various different basic issues. The issues are categorized in various heads, and the first head is interaction between the newcomer and their supervisor, co-workers, and other organization members. In this, the interaction are the primary vehicle through which socialization occurs. Hence, the frequency of these interactions must be decided. The next step in designing the induction program may be duration or length of an induction program. Obviously, the more material that it wants to new employees, the longer the induction will need to last. The length may vary from a few hours to several days to periodic sessions scheduled over several months. The third basic issue comes under designing the induction program is who will conduct the induction program. Generally, it is either the human resource manager or representative of human resource who conducts the program. Often, it is an entire team like a group of management trainees who are exposed to this. The next basic issue under designing the induction program is developing the procedure. There is no model induction procedure. Each organization develops its own procedure as per their requirements. The next head is corporate or departmental level. At corporate level, the new employee is keen to learn about the organization as a whole, and at departmental level, they want to see their place of work, they want to meet their new work colleagues, and they want to learn something about the job itself. The next basic issue is types of induction program. As we have already discussed, the human resource managers will decide the type of induction program as per its need and objectives. These may be general induction program, specific induction program, or follow-up induction programs. The next basic issue is methods and media. Students, a wide range of media are used in induction program. It includes lectures, videos, printed material like reports, employee handbooks, magazines, seminars, and discussion. Some firms use preloaded personal digital assistants to deliver the information. Students, the third step of employee induction program framework may be implementing the induction program. Induction program may range from few minute discussion to week-long effort. It depends on the size and complexity of the work environment. The Human Resource Department may implement the induction program by ensuring the checklist. And a checklist may consist of following items like a word of welcome given to the new employee by either by the board of directors or any boss or any supervisor. Explain about the company and overall departmental and its relationship to other activities of the company. Explain employees' individual contribution to the objective of department. The next point in the checklist may be considered as discuss job content with the employee and providing him a copy of job description so that he can come to know that what the organization is expecting from him. The next point we can consider may be explain departmental training program and salary increase practices and procedures. The next point we can include in the checklist maybe discuss where the employee lives and transportation facilities from that place. This will create a belongingness that yes, the employer or the supervisor is caring to me. Then the next is explaining working conditions like hours of work, employee entrance and exit, tea and coffee breaks, detail and timings of lunch, overtime policy and the requirements. In this, we also provide a list of important people to whom the employee must contact, the email policy of the organization, the pay days and procedures of being paid, locus facility, safety habits and security regulations. In implementing induction program checklist, we can have requirement for continuance of employment, explain company standard about attendance and punctuality, company standard about detail of pay, benefits, holidays and leaves, about future training opportunities and career prospects, about performance of duties and desired behavior from the employee and handling confidential information, general appearance or about the uniform. In the checklist, we can also have an aspect like introduce new staff member to managers and other supervisors to whom the new employee will be assigned. We can also do one thing that in checklist we release employee to immediate supervisor, and the immediate supervisor will familiarize the employee with his workplace. He will introduce new staff member to the fellow workers and he will begin on the job training. Sometimes organizations they make fun. Fun means welcome the employee at the work area with the basket of gift wrapped with office supplies like laptops and all. This inexpensive gesture can make the first day more like a celebration for the employee. And the last step, which is very important, that we must clarify the doubts. Doubts must be removed by encouraging the employee to come out with questions. Students, the last step of employee induction program is evaluating the effectiveness of the induction program. Gary Dazzler states that not all new hires react to orientation in the same way. Supervisors should therefore be vigilant and follow up and encourage new employees to engage in those activities that will enable each to learn and ropes and quickly becomes productive. As per a study, it is found that a majority of companies used either a limited system or no formal system to evaluate the effectiveness of their induction program. To improve efficiency of induction program, the company should make a conscious effort to obtain feedback. One way to ensure adequate orientation is to design a feedback system to control the program. It can also be obtained through roundtable discussions with new hires after their first year on the job. Through in-depth interviews and through questionnaires, a firm could be used to communicate this feedback from the trainees. Students, after learning the Employee Induction Program framework, now in this module we will further put a light upon the importance and benefits of induction program to the organization and to the employee as well. When newcomers first join an organization, they have much to learn about their supervisors and co-workers and the demand of their job, about the company rules and procedures, and the organization's culture and assumption. A good orientation program may help newcomer to feel part of the company and the team build loyalty, help him to get up to speed more quickly towards the operations, and even reduce early employee turnover in the organization. We will discuss the importance of induction program in various heads. First is building strong two-way communication. Induction helps to build up a two-way channel of communication between management and workers. New hires can shake hands with others, exchange notes, open up a bit, and run through the organization with confidence. The next importance of induction program or executing an effective induction program is proper induction reduce employee grievance, their absenteeism, and labor turnover. Effective induction helps in reducing the labor turnover. By resigning, they can increase the recruitment cost due to replacement cost. They can increase the cost of training and error correction. The third importance of induction program is clarifies psychological contracts. Induction can clarify what the organization expects from the newcomer in terms of the behavioral norms and values. It provides an opportunity to inform people of the way they are done around here so that misapprehensions are reduced. The next benefit of induction program, which is very important, is increase in commitment. The new hires, after getting acquainted with everything, tend to commit less number of mistakes and slip into their assigned role more comfortably. Induction creates a committed employee who identifies himself with the organization and who wants to stay with it. He becomes preferred to work hard on behalf of the organization. The next importance of effective induction program is it accelerates learning. Induction process increases the rate of learning and work processes. It helps new employee to reach the required level of performance. The next importance is it develops sense of belongingness and increase the socialization. Effective induction help to integrate the new employee into the organization and to develop a sense of belongingness. The new hire begins to build stakes, develop a kind of belongingness as he embraces the organization more passionately. New employees are likely to settle in more quickly and enjoy working for the organization. Induction improves the social aspect of work. It makes a social responsibility with colleagues and supervisors. It fosters socialization in the company. Students, the next importance of induction program is it increases teamwork and it reduces initial shyness. Walking into a new job is often a lonely and confusing event. The newcomer doesn't usually know what to say, whom to say, and where to say. Proper induction facilities and informal relation and teamwork is the output of proper induction facilities. Friends, relations develop almost immediately as new hires begin overcome their initial shyness and understand the organization, its rules, culture and people. The next importance of job induction program is it saves time. It is said that improperly oriented employees must still get the job done, and to do so they need help. The most likely people to provide this help are co-workers and supervisors, who will have to spend time breaking in new employees. Good orientation program saves everyone time, because if the employee is oriented in a proper way, then he will not disturb the other employees in various issues, because these issues are made aware to him by the induction program. The last importance which we are describing is it creates a positive attitude, which is very important for an organization and for an employee also. New employee take time to learn the ropes, but a good orientation program can help make this time a positive experience. The first few days on the job are crucial in helping the employee get started in the right direction with a positive attitude and feeling. Students, after learning the importance of induction program, in this section we will learn the points which must be avoided during conducting the induction program. According to D.C. Feldman, in induction program, we must avoid using too much valuable orientation time to complete paperwork. Means there must be less paper formalities. Giving too much information too quickly, it must be avoided. We must not give too much information very quickly. We must avoid the following thing also: giving information that are irrelevant to adjusting to the position and the organization. There is no use if in the induction program you are filling the employee, or you are providing the informations which are irrelevant, then definitely this must be avoided. Carrying the employee by spending an inordinate amount of time discussing the negative aspect of job, this must be avoided. We must not discuss the negative aspects of job. Then using lectures and videos rather than methods that allow two-way communication. Two-way communication is the best form. It must not be like that the employee is supplemented with some printed material, handbooks, and he is supplemented with some videos. It must be a part, but the process of orientation of induction must be a two-way communication. The last points to be avoided: limiting orientation to the first day at work. We must not limit the orientation at the first day. It must be a regular assignment as per the need and conveniency of the organization. Students, after going through the points to be avoided during induction program, now we will focus on problems which are faced or which are created during the induction programs. An induction program can go wrong for a number of reasons, and experts suggest the reasons are: the first, supervisor who is entrusted the job of induction is not trained, and sometimes he is very busy. He don't find time for the induction program. Newcomers are given too much importance or information too quickly. They have information overload. There is too much emphasis on paperwork in induction. Newcomers is loaded with forms to complete. Newcomer is thrown into action very soon. Thus, as this will not be shared process, so he may develop wrong perceptions and his mistakes can damage the organization. The next problem with the induction program or conducting the induction program may be supervisor have one-shot mentality. Induction program may be considered as a burden by the supervisor. The next problem seen with induction program is there is information irrelevance. Newcomer is given general or superficial information that is not directly relevant to the newcomer's job assignment itself. The next observed problem with the induction program is sometimes induction becomes too much formal. Thus, there happens one-way communication And if one-way communication will happen, then what happen? Only lectures and videos will be used without giving newcomer a chance to discuss on issues of the interest and to ask some queries and questions. The next problem faced with induction program is induction may remain a superficial activity where company philosophy, policies and rules create induction program as just a superficial activity. The likely result is that the newcomer does not feel to be the part of the company. The next problem observed with induction program is supervisors adopt scare tactics. They put heavy emphasis on negative aspects of the job. Next problem which is observed by the experts is induction may suffer from Mickey Mouse assignment. Means small and unimportant tasks will be given to the employees. Giving only manual tasks to new employee might discourage job interest and company loyalty in the newcomer. The next problem seen in induction program is pitching presentation at an inappropriate level. And there is no diagnosis and induction lacks follow-up. Hence, students, the induction program designers and deliverers should be sensitive to these problems, and while designing the induction program, they must consider the above problems and they must avoid the above problems. Students, we have come across the problems of induction program. We have learnt what are the problems which must be avoided while designing the induction program. At the same time, there are some guidelines also. So, in this section, we will discuss the induction guidelines in a very short format. The induction program should also become a platform to think about potential problems and address them before they happen. An orientation program should aim at creating a positive first impression in the minds of the new members and get a buy into the organization's culture, as these new members are more likely to be loyal, cooperative and interested in the organization's success. An effective welcome by the immediate supervisor or by the boss. An effective welcome and new hire integration process can help ensure a better retention rate and thus be highly cost efficient. There are some guidelines which could help in putting everything concerning orientation program in place. These are: first, be open, be frank and be honest on your value system. Be honest to vision, mission and integrity definition. The next guideline is leverage differences. We believe in diversity. There can be growth and a challenge to grow. Third is be clear and transparent on organizational strengths and improvement areas in terms of culture, leadership and business portfolio. The fourth is, which is very important, human resources are the assets for the organization. So focus on the people. Rest will automatically follow. Students, finally we will also discuss and come through the new practices or some practices being adopted in India regarding induction training. In this session, we will know that how some big companies think about the induction program and how they take their induction program and the desired content they are using in delivering the induction program. Examples of induction training program followed by a few companies in India are like at Infosys BPO, they believe that induction program have journeyed beyond company's overview and joining formalities. Infosys says or feels that it is now structured as a platform to showcase the competitive advantage and capabilities of an organization in the industry, therefore providing a window of opportunity for growth to the entrant, empowering them to become a part of the strong and ethical workforce. Infosys says the evolution in their own process earmarks the shift in focus from information download to providing an experience and partnership in the orientation, stay and growth of the new entrant. At Sony India, the company, however, gives enough opportunity to them to understand the process, to understand the culture and the system of the organization. In the case of junior managers, new recruiters are given less time as compared to the entrants who need to supervise, chalk out strategies and delegate work. Overall, we can say Sony tries to bring out the best in a person, thus allowing the individual to develop their abilities. The upcoming leader in IT sector at Patni Computers, according to Raja, Executive Vice President and Global Head of Human Resource, he says that today induction process is an assortment of knowing about the company and its intent directly from senior management, ice-breaking session with other colleagues, participating in training and setting warm with respective teams. Broadly, there are three phases to Patni's induction strategy. First is familiarization to the employee. Second is building effective leadership amongst the employees and department with the new employee. And third is clear understanding of performance deliverables from the employee side. At Maruti Udyog, they have different type of induction program for different fields. For engineers, the program is offered in 4 parts. First, familiarizing with various functions and fixing the meeting with division heads. Second is work on the actual shop floor. The third step they take is work at various other departments also. The fourth step, followed by induction program followed by Maruti, is work finally in those departments for about 2 months where they eventually have to work. At Cisco, the induction is co-owned by the respective business unit along with the human resource team. After the first 2 days of face-to-face induction, they use a variety of online tools to enable assimilation apart from face-to-face boot camps. Web-based training, video on demand, WebEx sessions, new hire websites, and WOOS enables faster ramp-up. Pointed out by the Manager, Learning and Development, Cisco India. At Tulip Telecom, according to Sandeep Sagar, Head of Human Resources, he felt that the use of technology in induction program will be something exciting and challenging. On one hand, technology won't be able to replace the human interaction, whereas on the other hand, it might even aid in creating a close, well-knit information flow process. So students, let's now summarize what we have learnt in this module. Through the module, we have seen that depending on the size of organization and complexity of the individual's new work environment, socialization could be achieved through a formal or informal placement or orientation program. We also discussed the traditional mode of familiarizing employee, like giving information about the company, giving information about the history, hierarchy, functional positions, evolution, value system, giving information about the philosophy of the company, goals, mission, giving information about the strategy, achievements, work culture, ethics, employees' rights and responsibilities. Instead of sitting in a room for hours, employees are nowadays taken for a walk with immediate boss to get familiarized with the place and people and function and the resources available in the organization. An effective welcome and new hire integration process can help in ensuring a better retention ratio and thus be highly cost efficient. Through the module, we have understood that ideally induction program should follow the assessment, designing, implementation and evaluation framework. Finally, we can conclude that a good orientation program may help the newcomer to feel as the part of the company, and at the same time it will promote them to work more efficiently towards the attainment of organizational goals. It increases loyalty towards organization and reduce early employee turnover. Thank you so much for visiting EPG Pathshala.